What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Life at the Hamids. So, they finally arrived, right? These are two 330 litre compost bins. So, I've got two of them. And what it is I need to get rid of that pile there and to get rid of that pile over there. Start making compost, start clearing this place up. You should have already seen a video of us clearing it up, getting it ready, setting out these beds ready to plant. Got ill last week, so again, behind, but that's life. We get on with what we can get on with, and at least you get to follow this journey with us and see how to start an allotment and the troubles and complications that come with it, as well as the successes. So, I'm going to do a time lapse as always for you to see what's going on, but these are really good. I got them off getcomposting.com, and you get a little discount. This was buy one get one free, so I got two. So 660 liters of compost that I can make for $49.90 something, and it's got a little hatch here, so I can take it out. Obviously, there's two of them in here right now, so I'll show you that quickly. Let's open that up. There you go. That's one of them. Here's the second one, and literally, what I can do is I can open them up, fill them up from top to bottom, and basically take out my compost when I need it. So I'm really excited. I hope you're excited. And what I'll do is I'll make a video on how to compost, because it's not just chucking things in there. There's a ratio of material you need to get in there, and it's not complicated, but once you know, you know. And you can make some really nice, high-quality compost that can sustain you for your growing term. All right, everyone, let's get to it. So the first thing that we needed to do was to fill up the compost bin. So I set one up, and then I tasked Daffy to fill it up while I went and I started leveling out the rest of the ground that we left to dry up over the heated couple of days, and filling up the wheelbarrow with all the weeds. And Daffy was soldiering away, filling up the compost bin. It didn't take too long to actually fill up one of the bins, and shortly I had to actually go get a second bin and set that up for her. But she sped through that, and the ground wasn't so level, so I had to spend a bit of time leveling it off, and then once leveling it off we carried on. But the main thing was to get rid of that heap so that it could start composting. I wasn't sure if I was going to use any of it, because I was planning to put some raised beds in there. As you can see, so much easier to clear out these weeds. So to let it dry off, in hindsight, I'd dig up and I'd basically clear up the weeds after a couple of days. Once they dry and die off, it's easier to separate the soil from the weeds, and you don't take as much soil away. Now here I'm just clearing up any weeds that have sprouted up with the hoe, so that I can level off the beds perfectly. So Daffy's nearly done with that pile, and we've more or less got two full compost bins. I wasn't sure if there was any space, but I managed to force those in, the last bits of weeds that I've collected from the ground. And this has been sped up 20 times, so you can imagine how much work we actually put in. So currently what I'm doing is I'm remarking the beds, because things changed a bit. I've also, didn't get to show you, but I've planted some potatoes where you can see there's a difference in colour of the soil. So Daffy's helping me measure out. We went in a bit old school using the hoe to make sure things were level, and yeah, we've just marked them out. The beds are 1.2 meters with a 55 centimeter gap in between, giving us enough space to walk up and down and kneel if we need be in between the beds. So I'm clearing off, and right now Daffy's just tasked to level off, and you can see she's finding bits of weeds that have been kind of left in there, so she's taking those out as she levels off the ground. We found that the middle was a bit more heaped up than the sides, so we're just working on that. Preparation is key. We don't want to really do things half-heartedly and get things done properly so that we can just actually plant one go. But yeah, we're making good progress. It's more or less done now. I just need to work on putting those beds back in. The foxes come in at night and they chew away at those strings, making it a hassle. So at this point I was sitting there thinking, you know what, I'll put it in anyway. I tied up the strings. I have to do it because you end up stepping on places where you shouldn't be stepping on. I wanted to make sure I was stepping in the aisles. So at this point I just marked out the rows that way we could walk across, and that also marked out our beds at the same time. And the next thing is to basically just check if it's level, and that's the wood actually I had spare at home to make the raised beds. Time to get rid of the rose bush. We'll not get rid of it. You can see that I've got a black pot there, so it's just about getting it out. It was actually deeply rooted, but I managed to get it out in the end and just washed it off. There was a lot of red ants underneath that, so I washed them off and I just quickly just put it in there and used some of that heap. I've also forgot to mention that we cleared up the heap behind Daffy where the woods and the sticks were, so we had a lot of compost from there as well that we were able to get. So Daffy's just leveling off everything and collecting up all the stones, a lot of stones. So I just asked her to rake everything towards the end, and then what we'd do is we'd basically sieve out the stones. And this is our final bit really. Just I'm digging up and turning over the ground there, and we're just going to get rid of the weeds that are there right now so we can level everything off and get started. So now Daffy's more or less raked all the earth and leveled off as much as she can, and the stones and all of the bits and bobs and glass are there. So what I'm doing is I'm just sieving it all into that wheelbarrow, as you can see, using the sieve that my neighbours let me borrow, and then we're just basically using the earth from there to level things out. So yeah, we made a nice amount of progress. As you can see, everything's leveled off. Now it's ready. The next stage is to put the beds in. Time to start planting and just maintaining. Here's what it was like on the first day when we got it. Second, third day progress. Fourth day, and then this is what it looks like now. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more future episodes. Catch you in the next one.